Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. I greatly appreciate it. This is the daily forecast for March 8th, which will be a Tuesday. It's not necessarily solely set for that date. You can use it whenever you're seeing it. I believe the messages reach us when they're supposed to, not necessarily when they were originally created for. But for those of you that regularly follow along, this is a build-up of the energy that we looked at in the Sunday reading, which you can find in the lower right-hand corner at the end of this video if you want to understand what I'm talking about. I do a weekly reading on Sundays that shows the general overview of what's going on, what we might be experiencing. And then each day I add to those cards for that day with the underpinning energy in there, okay? So please check out the drop-down menu. If you're new to me, read through that. It just gives you information on how to follow me, how to book a private reading, what decks I'm working with currently during the month, because I change the decks over every month. There's Amazon affiliate links in there. If you purchase the decks on my Amazon affiliate link, I do get a small percentage of the sale. So that helps the channel out. Other ways to help out the channel, please hit the thumbs up button. It really greatly helps. Leave me a question or comment if you have a question or comment. If my readings resonate with you, or even if they don't, you can let me know that. If they don't resonate and what I'm talking about doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just might mean that you're not, this may not be your reading at this time. Okay, but if it does make sense to you, please take it, use it to the best of your ability, make informed decisions in your life, allow it to support you and validate you in what you already know. And I hope that, it helps in some way, shape, or form. It is for all signs, and it is a broad spectrum reading in the sense that it's for the collective consciousness, so it's for everybody. Therefore, I speak in broad terms. If you want something more specific to your own situation, contact me for a private reading. Okay, so let's see what's going on in the cards. Oh, and subscribe to the channel. Share the channel out. Share the video out. If a video is profound to you or means a lot to you, please put it on your social media. Let your friends know about me. It greatly helps me to further my passion for doing this, and it helps me to get the word out because I don't advertise really, and I'm trying to grow my audience, and it's a great way to help me to do so in return for the free content that I put up every day. If you do subscribe, hit that notification bell because it will notify you every day when a new video goes up, so you can be aware and watch it. All right, so let's see what's going on. God, I've been up since 3 this morning. It's like, I don't know what is wrong with my sleep patterns. I woke up wide awake at 3 in the morning. And it sucks because I have to work today at 9:30 and I don't know how the hell I'm going to pull this off. But here we are. All right, here's our card. It's the 6 of Swords. And I'm not mad at seeing this card, to be honest, because in our weekly, which I'll state is in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen at the end of this video, the beginning and midweek cards were both swords cards, both actually kind of negative swords cards, which I didn't like, right? They made me feel kind of uncomfortable, I'll be honest. You'll hear it in that video if you watch that video. I talk about how I don't necessarily like the feelings behind those cards or the vibe I was getting from them. It felt very sort of distressed, mentally anguished, tired, put out, over it. And actually, if I think about it, honestly, yesterday, Sunday, I felt that way. I don't know about the rest of you, but it was just like, it just kind of tore up and done. Overly tired, probably a little bit stressed out. That might be why I'm waking up at 3 in the morning. But if some of you out there are also experiencing the same energy, the reason why I do these readings is to let us know that we're exactly where we need to be, even if it's uncomfortable, right? Even if it's hard work, even if our thoughts are critical or resentful or If we're angry with somebody, sometimes we're exactly where we need to be, even though it doesn't feel like where we want to be. Does that make sense? Okay, so now on to today's card. Today's card is still a swords card. Definitely the air element. Definitely about mental thought patterns and about communication, how we communicate those thoughts, right? Where we communicate them into the world. Our thoughts are very powerful. We need to remember that our thoughts are sort of creators, right? What we think, how we feel, those things help to manifest and create our reality. And so, or how we experience reality, right? From our perception, from our thoughts, from our viewpoint. And so, with the Six of Swords, it's a nice. Yesterday we had that Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Cups is usually a really wonderful card, right? It's usually very self-sufficient emotionally, and like kind of all my ducks are in a row. I didn't necessarily get that kind of a feeling from it yesterday. I got this more of a guarded feeling from him. But today, I feel like the Six of Swords is always about moving to calmer waters, seeing a direction in the miscommunication or in the and like the disassociation of our thoughts or the resentments, the anger, the upset. We start to see a clearer path with the Six of Swords being present. The waters are a little bit choppy in this card, right? So the emotions might be underpinning some of this stuff for us. We might still be dealing with some of that Nine of Cups energy from yesterday, trying to sort those things out. But ultimately, this boat is moving to better options. It's moving to calmer waters, right? And everybody within it is also moving to calmer waters. So, what I mean by that is that those of you that are dealing with situations where maybe you're fighting with family, coworkers, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, or you've been struggling with them, those struggles for both you and them, other parties, could be reaching a more calmer, more peaceful, more balanced state, right? Especially in thought and communication. That's what the six would represent. Underpinning it, because it's still Tuesday, right, of the week, we would still see that Ten of Swords energy underneath. Tens are about completions for the totality of the situation, right? That would mean, and what I mean by that is that explains why all of the people are in the boat going to somewhere better, right? Everybody's kind of gone to their corner and taken a breath, maybe, or taken a rest, maybe, rested their mind, stopped communicating, but not necessarily from a place of anger, but from maybe a place of maintaining peace rather than creating more havoc. The Ten of Swords underneath this is about defeat. It's about, like, I can't do this any longer. I'm sorry. Give me a minute, guys. For me, as I'm saying that to you guys, what I'm feeling about, like, my part of the reading, or for me, where these cards are telling me is just that, like, I'm just fucking tired. That Ten of Swords has this very I just can't go on kind of feeling, and I don't mean like suicidal. I mean more like this feeling of like I just don't have it in me. The Six of Swords, though, gives me hope, right? And it gives me hope for you guys too, that ultimately, whatever situation you're dealing with, or whatever situation you might feel defeated by, or lost in, or hopeless about, there is an opportunity here for you to transform that, to change that. The Nine of Cups yesterday indicates that we can get our emotions together. It's still, like I said, that water's still a little choppy. It's a little scary. It's underneath us. It's tossing the boat, turning the boat maybe in different directions. But we've got to say, keep our eyes sort of trained on that better future, that better balanced thinking, that better balanced communication that allows us to move towards something that is calmer, something that is more peaceful, something that is more in line with what everybody or everything within the situation needs. Does that make sense? And that's like sort of this family in the boat. This could represent other people in your life, or these people in this boat could represent just scenarios in your life, calming the fuck down, right? And just being like, okay, I need to rethink this. I need to back up off this. I need to maintain some balance around my thoughts with this or this person, however that works for you. Yes, it might still feel emotional. Yes, it might still be a little bit of work, but it's work in a right direction rather than work in a backwards direction or causing you more harm um, than you need, right? You've already, that 10 of Swords would indicate you've already been through enough harm, let's say, okay? Remember, too, if I remember correctly, the card for the week, the Sacred Destiny Oracle, is that idea of openness, yes, which was that moon. It's that listening to the more subtle, intuitional side, trusting that everything's in alignment, that everything will come together, even if it's been uncomfortable, right? And here's where the comfort maybe begins to set in for us, or at least the belief in that, the possibility of that comfort begins to set in with this Six of Swords, right? Where we're maybe moving to a more calmer mind, a more peaceful state, a more realistic perception of, say, a situation that we maybe perceived as being overtly aggressive or negative or unfortunate for ourselves. Now, after all that is said, right, let's look at the Sacred Destiny Oracle and see, oh, Jesus, and look who it is. It's openness. And it's interesting that this shows back up. I love this card because it's about, I love that it has the constellations in there, which means like the stars are lined up for us, even though they may not feel that way with the 10 of Swords underneath this, with the struggle that the boat may be having, trying to get to a place that's calmer. Remember, our midweek card is also the 5 of Swords, which is still transitory and struggling with our thoughts or with the thoughts of others or the opinions of others. So this isn't quite over yet, but we're moving in the right direction is my feeling. The other thing, and the other reason why I'm happy that openness shows up here today again, is because what I did with the Sunday reading, I filmed it so late in the day, I forgot to read the story of openness on Sunday's video. And so today I'm going to make sure to reread it. But to me, when I look at openness, it's about listening to that quieter, softer, more subtle, intuitive voice within you. You know, we may not know the road to take in certain situations. We may not know. Why am I so fucking emotional today? I think I'm just tired, guys, but I don't like waking up at 3 a.m. and having to start my fucking day because I can't go back to sleep. It's like insomnia. But again, like I can resist it and I can fight it, right? And make it harder on myself. Or I can just ease into it and understand that there's a reason for it, right? And that would be me being more in my own openness rather than being in this place of struggle, thus defeat of the 10 of Swords, right? So it's like listening to that softer, quieter, more subtle, intuitive voice within us. And as those clouds clear and the stars align and we trust in the path or the possibility of the universe, maybe just, our own higher self guiding us in the right direction, even if it doesn't feel comfortable during the time as we're being guided through it, it will all come together in the end is kind of my feeling with this openness card. So I'm going to read this to you. Secrets of the Moon. The cycles of the moon affect every aspect of our life. The cyclical magnetic pole regulates the tides as it acts on our planet's waters. The moon even affects the monthly cycles of women. It's not an accident that a woman's cycle and the cycle of the moon are approximately the same amount of time. In native cultures, when women lived in nature, it was not uncommon for them to menstruate during the new moon and ovulate around the full moon. It was believed that menstruation was the time that a woman had to be still, put her everyday labors aside, and renew. That would also be 6 of Swords energy too, guys. For all people, the dark of the moon was a time to incubate ideas while watch nocturnal dreams for signs and be still. In modern life, we as a culture don't honor these natural cycles often enough, and as a result, our lives are usually bereft of this important time of rejuvenation. The sacred language wants you to know. Landscape wants you to know. When you receive this card, be open to receiving signs. Be still. Do nothing. Be open. Breathe. Relax completely and thoroughly. Incubate your dreams for the future. If you are trying to make a decision, take the time to watch for signs and listen to the whispers of the universe. Watch your dreams for messages regarding the situation. Become the sacred watcher. Observe life as it unfolds rather than becoming engaged in it. Be open to what the universe has in store for you. Be receptive to messages from your soul. This card can also be the bringer of sacred wonders into your life. Miracles can show up in ways that you didn't expect. Okay? Oh, sorry. It's now 5:30, so it's time to get up. But I'm already up. Been up for 2.5 hours. So let's see what the grounding stone is for today. And the grounding stone, this is the principle we should be grounding in today. And I like this, is joy. Joy is an extremely high vibrational energy. Finding our joy, finding our peace, finding the things that make us happy, allow us to stay and remain open and to trust in the cycles of the moon, to trust in the cycles of our own intuition, to trust in the guidance of our own higher spirit that leads us to the calmness and the balance, even amongst the tumult of the emotions that lie underneath situations for us. It allows us to find the clearer, more joyful thoughts in our mind that bring us to the more peaceful place that the Six of Swords represents. So grounding in that joy also too, remember this week's grounding stone for the entirety of the week that underpins joy is that idea of desire. Desire is at the soul level. What is it that we desire? What brings us the most peace, the most happiness, the most joy? Those should be our focuses this week as we go through whatever struggles, trials, or tribulations we have to face, either mentally or communication-wise, right? They will get better by week's end. We have that magician showing up by week's end. So hopefully at some point through all of this, we are going to feel empowered, but we can only feel empowered through seeking this joy and remaining open to whatever, gifts are being given to us, even if they don't feel like gifts in the moment they're being given. That is your forecast for the day, guys. Please have a wonderful day. Please tune in tomorrow. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share the channel out, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, and I love you all. Take care. Bye-bye.